with our tradies, the phone is the number one lead source. So we get inbound calls and we have outbound calls. Selling in person would be different. You've got a few more cues to go off. What do you think is important when we get an inbound lead on the phone? How do we turn up as the best version of ourselves in a sales sense on an inbound phone lead?
In the world that they're in, it's firstly acknowledging that if I just answer it without thinking, I'm 100% not going to be the best version of me right now. They could be on a site, there's noisy, there's people shouting shit from all over the place, they've got a delivery that's late, whatever. So I think initially it's to have that anchor point of, I need to take a breath. Remember that I only have 4.5 to 7 seconds to make that winning first impression. When I pick up this phone, somebody might ring up and say, hey, I'm looking for a quote on XYZ, right? Is that a common scenario?
Yeah.
That's it, right? So I could be knee deep in concrete, banging away, and somebody says, hey, mate, I want a quote on this. And if you haven't taken that breath, if you haven't at least acknowledged that you only have 4.5 to 7 seconds to make that first impression, you could lose the sale.
Yeah,
right? You could be the cheapest on the market and it's too late. So we use what we call an A-not frame. The first thing that we do is just to show a bit of courtesy, where we use A, which is acknowledge and appreciate them reaching out. So firstly, I really appreciate you taking time to give me a quick call. Naturally, and after being a chippy for the last 14 years, do appreciate that everybody's situation is different. O, obviously, I need to ask you a couple of quick questions just to see whether I can help you or not, which is a play down statement. And then T, typically what I'll do then is jump off once I finish on site. If applicable, I'll send you through some information. And if not, I'll let you know right now on this call. Is that all good?
That is brilliant.
That's it.
That is brilliant.
But so all they've got to do is learn a 30-second frame. Appreciate or acknowledge the time. Naturally, time in operation, which builds value in M and C. O, let them know I'm going to ask some questions for context. T, which two ways might this go? And then ask them, so mate, what are you looking for? Like, how long you been looking for it for? Give me some context. That 30-second frame at the beginning will make the rest of the conversation a lot easier, and it makes it easier for the other person to give you intel as well, which then helps you tailor your proposal on the back end.
And I think most people don't have a deliberate plan. Like I call a lot of tradies.
I would say, 99% don't have a deliberate. Hello?
Yeah.
Even the hello is terrible.
Yeah.
As now, tell me your name when you pick up the phone.
Yeah.
That's the worst one that gets me, is that they
No name.
pick
No
up the
business.
phone like, hey, and you're like, is this?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah. And you're like, whoa.
Or they go, yeah. And then you go, oh, sorry, mate, are you XYZ tree loppers?
Yeah, and they're like,
they go, oh, yeah, sorry, mate, I thought it was Tony. I'm like, well, it's not. And now I know how you speak to your like partners.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? So always answer the phone and just live your life in general, that the person next to you is the one that could change your life. Treat everybody the same. So pick up the phone. Your default should be, good morning, XYZ business, Ryan speaking. How can I help? All right, that's why you got to take that breath.
And that frame that you just went through, that 30-second frame, that's not going to come naturally listening to this podcast once. That's something that you have to sit down, you have to craft, you have to practice repetition after repetition.
Neither's doing a mitre joint.
Yeah.
That doesn't come naturally.
but I think that's the issue, is that if we're talking about our target market, the people listening, is that they've spent 4 years or however long it is crafting this technical ability to do a great job on the tools. But a lot of the time they don't want to spend the same amount of time crafting.
Correct.
Or maybe it's not even that they don't want to, it's that they didn't realize they had to.
Yeah, that's fair.
They don't realize they have to now sit down and spend the same amount of time going through repetition and building a new skill set of answering a phone.
Yeah.
Because you know what? They've answered a phone for their whole life. They know what that looks like.
Can pick up a phone.
Yeah. But I actually can't when I'm trying to get a sale, or I can't when I'm trying to elicit a certain response from a staff member, or I can't, whatever it might be.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is an extra tool in your toolbox, right? Yeah. It's the one tool that you carry around with you 24/7, 365. And you never know when that sales opportunity is going to come along. And if you miss it, you miss it. And there's thousands of other tradespeople that can pick up the phone and go, yeah. Like so the only thing you compete with is price.
Yeah.
Which, coming back to what you were stating, is it is actually so easy to stand out in this space.
So easy.
Because the average is traditionally so low, comparative a lot of other industries and spaces.
Yeah. I could sit on site well, not even on site. I could sit remotely and answer a phone call. Like even those AI, the software is better than them answering the phone, actually, ironically. And that's the painful thing. It doesn't need to be. Like you can be even better by just knowing how to do a 3-minute phone call and buy yourself time to then call that person back when you're off site, so that then you can be dedicated and present.
I think that 30-second frame, if you use that on every inbound call For every lead that you get from now until the end of your career, the value that that will generate for you in sitting down and actually thinking about this and practicing it a little bit, again, just to get ahead of the pack. So
Yeah.
you don't even have to, it doesn't have to be silky and crisp every single time. Just the fact that it's there is way better than the pack.
Yeah.
Will return so much in value for you, for your time and effort in working out, crafting that.
And it's, again, it just has to be something that you do, something that you practice. It's you practice that every morning for like 30 seconds. I know it sounds shit. I know it does. But if it puts an extra 6 figures on your bottom line, is it worth feeling shit for 30 seconds every morning until it just becomes second nature?
Which it probably would.
It would do.
Yeah.
With the amount of opportunity. I mean, there's no coincidence. Now, I use Rodney again because he's become a really good friend of mine. You don't go from doing $10,000 carports to $1.7 million jobs by accident.
Yeah.
Right, it's very intentional. It starts with a mindset shift, starts with a belief that it's even possible, and then the skills. Like you can't just be confident. You can't say, "All right, okay, cool. I believe that I can do it." That'll get you going, but it's the competence through skills and training that keeps you there.
Yeah.